Good morning, traders and investors. My name is Roger Scott, and I'm the senior strategist for WealthPress. Today is Monday. It's September 19th. It's about 7:53 in the morning. The market's going to open up in about an hour and, an hour and 37 minutes to be specific with you. I hope every one of you had a great weekend. This is going to be a very exciting week. I think we're going to have a turnaround Tuesday. I think markets are going to turn around. I think the markets are overdone to the downside. I'll get into all of that in this video. And before I begin, I really appreciate the comments you guys have been posting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll respond to them. Somebody asked me to change my cursor color and make it bigger. I did that. Post comments below this video in the YouTube channel. I appreciate them. I'll answer the questions. I'll respond to them, and I'll give you feedback. So thank you for doing that. I know we've been getting like 30, 40 comments a day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep it up. Now, let's get into today's analysis. It's Monday. I'm really excited. I had a great weekend. Matter of fact, I even posted pictures of Bonnie in my Telegram channel. There you go. That's my petite Persian cat. Yes, petite Persian. All right. So the Nasdaq's down about 100, a little over 100. The Dow's down over a quarter of a handle. Not random, but beyond any stretch of the imagination. Matter of fact, if this was a normal market environment, I would say the market's on a free fall. But based on what we know about the market, this isn't all that significant because the volatility has been quite aggressive. We've got a lot of data on the table this week, including an announcement by the federal chairman, Mr. I won't tell you the truth till I get reappointed Powell. And I'm going to keep saying that till he's done because he's been a mess. We've got a lot of housing data. The biggest factors the week that we're going to be looking at, the most events that we need to focus on are going to be the real estate, jobless claims, and the Fed. And remember something, the real estate market is indirectly impacted by the bond market anyway, because interest rates, real estate, we all understand that. So we're going to have to keep an eye on the bond market this week. Now, we bottomed out here. This was Tuesday. We took a really big dump on Tuesday. That's when the CPI came out. And then the market kind of went up and then it kind of dumped back down. But if you see here, we're still slightly, just a hair above that level. And this is giving me hope that the market is in fact bottoming out around here and that the bond market is going to start coming up before going down. It's been in a strong channel and it's been down for quite some time. RSI is just way overdone right now. And also we don't have the sentiment that the Fed had down here when they just went crazy with raising rates. I think most of it is priced into the market. And I think the Fed is going to do 2 more 0.75s and then see how it goes for the foreseeable future. Now, so I'm expecting a little more upside unless the Fed goes to a handle. If they go to a full handle, if they start raising rates a full basis point, then we're in trouble. But I'm going to tell you this. I don't think that's going to happen. There's a lot of things on the table that are looking good. First of all, put the call ratios really reaching those oversold levels, and I mean really oversold levels. We're at 117. Volatility is not, and I'm repeating, not really reacting all that crazy. It's not. And momentum levels, as I'll get into, look at this, 6%, 6%, 8%, 12%, 11%, 11%. Some sectors like material, real estate, communication services are really getting into nosebleed territory. And it just appears to be that we're overdone on this route going down. Matter of fact, if you look at the Nasdaq stocks, number of stocks trading above the 200-day moving average, you will see that we're fairly close to bottoming out here, as you could see right here. Look at that. That's a 20-year chart. So you can see we don't really have a lot more to go. So I think the market is going to start going higher because I think the fear right now is that the market anticipates a full handle on later this week, and I don't think they're going to get that. I think they're going to get 0.75 as expected, and the Fed is going to give us the whole, woo, things are getting worse, but they're going to stay at 0.75 for the foreseeable future, and I think that's going to cause the market to have a little bit of a rally. But again, the FOMC starts tomorrow. Housing starts permits tomorrow. Keep your eye on existing home sales, housing starts. That will be impacted, but the question is how much of that is already discounted in the market. So again, there's 2 common themes this week: housing market, interest rates, and as I mentioned, they're both related, and we're near that turnaround level on the bond market, in my opinion, which may cause a rally in stocks. Now, Let's talk a little bit about global economy, and then we'll go from there. There's a lot to talk about, actually. This is going to be a big week. We may have a nice little turnaround Tuesday. Investors brace for another interest rate hike this week by the U.S. Federal Reserve. Britain is observing a day of mourning for Queen Elizabeth II, and Japan markets are closed for holidays. Fears the Fed and other central banks might overshoot their policy targets, triggering a recession. I think they're pretty conscientious of that. I don't think they're going to do that. Most economists forecast that the Fed will jack up its primary lending rates another 0.75 of a point when central banks leaders meet this week. Yes, I do too, and I don't think it should be a shock or a surprise to anyone that they're going to do that. I don't understand what all the big fuss is about. They kind of laid it out, and they were pretty clear, and things are coming out exactly as they expected. So I'm not seeing any big I'm not seeing the big speculation here. I just don't see what the big guessing is all about. I think that's pretty much baked into this market. Japan's central bank meets Wednesday and Thursday amid rising pressure to counter a sharp decline in the yen value against the dollar. Well, maybe if they started raising rates, that would change. And that has raised costs for businesses and consumers who must pay more for imports of oil, gas, and other necessities. Hey, the yen needs to get stronger. You guys are not going to get out of it any other way. On Friday, a stark warning Friday from FedEx about rapidly worsening trends in the economy gave investors more of a worry. S&P fell a little less than 1%, NASDAQ lost about 1%, and the Dow met us halfway in between. Now, the big downside for the week was on Tuesday when the CPI came out, when the S&P fell 4.3%. For the week, it went 4.8, but honestly, most of it was on Tuesday. And the bond market has held off pretty well since then. As you can see here, look, it hasn't really fell off the cliff since then. It's kind of in that same range. So there's a good chance we may come out, and this may end up being a double bottom. Again, I'm just trying to give you a little context here. Average long-term U.S. mortgage rates climbed up above 6% last week for the first time since the crash of 2008. The higher rates could make an already tight housing market even more expensive. It is. It's going in that direction. Recent U.S. government reports show that prices for just about everything but gas are still rising. Ouch. That was really the big deal last week. The job market is still red hot. Consumers continue to spend. That gives Fed the ammunition to believe that the economy can tolerate more Fed hikes. Now, the bond market has been reacting actually pretty good. It just Friday started going up. I'm looking for it to maybe go up a little bit more. I'd love to sell or buy puts around the 30 level. I think that would be prime. I think the bond market is going to rally from this point. I think this downside is way overdone unless the Fed goes to 0.1. I think the put to call ratio is alerting us that we're right now in that stretched out band. And I think everything is pointing higher. If you look at the stocks in the NASDAQ 100, they look way overdone. If you look at each individual sectors, you've got healthcare, energy, consumer staples, financials. You've got all the right stocks leading here. So to me, it looks like we're going to go higher, not lower. The put to call ratio is very important because if you look at it, since April, we've only been here, this entire year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, 10 times. So we've been 10 times above this area, and notice how oversold we've been. And again, we're approaching this territory. So in my opinion, we may have another day of downside. I may be doing that put trade on VIX. I think it's way too much too soon. And also, the market didn't react as negatively to this downside. Now, if you look at the major sectors, you will also see that you've got real estate. Look at this, 6% trading above the 200-day moving average, 12%, 11%. These stocks look like they're way overdone. And I mean way overdone. So if you look at it visually, this looks like it's pulling back. This looks like it's pulling back. Healthcare looks like it's pulling back. Consumer staples looks like it's about to start going up. Real estate looks like it's starting to go up. I like real estate. Industrial looks like it's overdone. A lot of these sectors look like they're overdone, like really overdone. And I'm expecting more upside. So don't be surprised if you saw a rally in the market. And don't be surprised if you saw real estate, communication services, And what was that other sector? Let's see. Material. Let's look at basic material. Let's look at basic materials. I wouldn't be surprised if you started seeing upside in basic materials, real estate, and communication services. These sectors are grossly overdone, and quite honestly, most of the stocks are looking they're a little too beaten up right now. Consumer discretionary is holding up well, and small caps, which I'll talk about tomorrow, are holding up better than large caps, and that's very, very important. If you look at the Russell 2000, look at this 2000, 26% versus 24%. S&P 25%, 26%. Very important. Dow Jones 23%, 26%. Remember, small caps started this downside way, way before the large caps did, and they're going to start going higher a lot faster than the large caps. But overall, I think we're going to be bottoming out today, and I think we're going to have a great turnaround Tuesday. So, in the past, we've been asked how current traders can participate in my upcoming projects. You guys know that. And my answer has always been the same. When I've got something, you'll be amongst the first to know. Well, right now, this is I'm letting you know. Now, I can't reveal much with those who are outside of the beta tests, not until it goes fully public. And that's why I'm going to hold a special event to unveil my new strategy, Code Breakers. That's right, Code Breakers. Use the link below, that's right, to learn about how you could be amongst the first to see it in action. You guys are gonna love it. And I mean love, love, love Code Breakers. Check it out. Follow the link below. It all starts tomorrow. Look at the smile on my face. And post comments in the video section. I know who you are. Bye, guys. Have a great, great week ahead.